Hello, everyone. Tammy Hooper here. I am a real estate agent in South Carolina and in North Carolina. And today I want to tell you a story about a client that I was able to work with and something that I was able to do for this client. So I just hired this company recently to help me with branding my company and branding my business. I've been in business now for a while, and I thought it was really important that I started hiring a professional to help me with marketing myself and marketing my real estate company. And they set up a professional photography photo shoot for me so that we could get some photos to help brand my business. And so I completed that photography photo shoot. And one of the things that they did afterwards is they did an interview with me and they asked me, hey, Tammy, tell us a little bit about your business and what do you think makes your business special or different? And tell us a little bit about kind of what you want people to see or what you want people to know about you when they see you on social media or when they see you in your marketing. What is it? What's the message that you want to send? So I said to them, I said, well, I just want to tell you a couple stories about some of my clients because for me, my business is all about my clients. My business is all about the experience that I can provide for my clients. I am one agent and I don't work on a team. I don't have, 4 or 5 people that work with me and help me do my business. I am a single agent and I've chosen to be just one person, a one man team or a one woman team so that I can have control over the experience that my clients receive when they choose to do business with me. So what's important to me is that every client get a personalized experience whenever they're either buying or they're selling real estate. So I started telling them some stories about a couple of my clients. So there was one story in particular that really stood out in the stories that I told them, and it really touched the heart of this person that I was speaking to at the marketing company because she told me, she says, I can really relate to that because this recently happened with my mom, and I remember how emotional she was when she had to live that experience, and it would just make me feel so good to know that there was someone on the other side helping her, or someone with her helping her get through that scenario the way that you were able to help your client. And she got, very emotional as we were talking about it. So I thought to myself, this is a story that I want to share because it really does say a lot about my business. And I think it will help you if you're about to choose a real estate agent to say to yourself, what is it that I really do want in an agent? And how do I want them to do business with me? So in one of my previous videos, if you watched about how to choose a real estate agent, I tell you in that video, make sure that you're choosing someone that you like, someone that you know, someone that you feel like you can have a good connection with. So this is a story about my client that'll kind of help you see how we had a good connection and why I chose to work with her and why she chose to work with me. So this particular client had lived in her home for over 40 years. And she had raised her children in this home. Her husband had passed away a few years before, but she had a lot of memories from her marriage in this home, from raising her children in this home. And her children had already grown up and they'd moved to another state. And she's got grandchildren who live in this state with her children. And she had gotten to a point where it was time for her to sell her home and move closer to her children, so that she could be near her family and spend more time with her grandchildren. So she decided that she wanted to sell her house. So she reached out and asked me if I would come and visit her and see if I could help her with selling her home. So I did. I went and I met with her. And while I was there, we spent a lot of time just talking. I love to talk. And I learned a lot about her just in, my first visit with her. I learned about her family, her children. I learned about what kind of job she had before she retired. I really just had a wonderful conversation with her, getting to know her, because in real estate, It's good if you have something in common or you both choose to work together. Not only does the client choose me as a real estate agent, but I want to choose my client as well. And I want to make sure that I can have a good working relationship with any client that I choose to work with because I'm only one person. I don't work in a team. I don't have a staff of people that help me do my business. Everything falls on me. So I only get to work with so many clients a year, and I want to make sure whoever those clients are that I work with, that they're people that I really love working with. So we found out that we clicked like immediately. So we got, I got everything taken care of. We decided we were going to get her house sold. And so I started having a conversation with her about what she needed to do to get her house ready so that I could have a professional photographer come over and photograph her home. And so we talked about, okay, let's start packing up. You're going to be moving anyway. Your house is going to sell fairly quickly. It's in a great area. Let's start packing up some of your personal items that you may not necessarily want to be on the internet. Because once we take these photos, they're on the internet and they're going to be there forever. They're going to be on Zillow. They're going to be on Realtor.com. They're going to be on the MLS. There's a ton of other websites. These photos are going to be there. And let's make sure we don't have anything in the photographs that you don't want to be on the internet. Pictures of your grandchildren, pictures of your children, pictures of your husband, any particular items that may be of great value that you don't want just everyone to see. Let's clear some of those things out of here. And at the same time, let's get the house ready to be photographed because although some decor looks wonderful when you're in person and it looks great in the home and it makes the home look warm and cozy, when you take a photograph of a home, sometimes there can be too many things in the picture and that can take away from anyone viewing the picture seeing the actual home itself. So seeing the type of moldings that you might have, the actual size or the space in the room. So you want to make sure that you're not taking away from that. So let's just get rid of anything that we don't necessarily need. So she started packing and, she called me up one day and she said, Tammy, I'm having a hard time because I'm packing away all of these things and I'm finding myself spending hours and hours and hours going down memory lane. I'm finding some of my children's old books where they've taken notes. I'm finding yearbooks from my son's high school. I found all these photo albums that I hadn't seen in forever, and it's just taking me a really long time. And I know you wanted to get this house on the market before busy season was over, before school starts back at summertime, but it's just taking me longer than I thought. And I'm doing this by myself. My family's in another state. So I said to her, okay, listen, why don't we do this? Why don't I have a photographer come over to your house, take photos of your home with your personal belongings in your home? And then we can look through those photos, pick the ones that we like, and that'll give you a little bit more time to get some things packed away, and we can kind of go from there. She said, okay, I'm fine with that. Well, one of the reasons why I wanted to do this is because she was telling me what a hard time she was having and how she was finding herself, getting all teared up because she's moving out of this home where she's built all these memories with her family. And it's like a sad thing for her. It's very bittersweet because she's got a lot of memories in this home and she's going to have to leave this home behind. And she's packing up a lot of these things that she knows when she gets to her new home, she's going to have a smaller home. She's not going to be able to have all of these things out where she can see them like she did in her current home. So I thought it would just be wonderful for her if I could get photos of some of these things. So I told her, I said, listen, I'm going to have the professional photographer come over. While he's there, let's get him I want you to show him some of your favorite items in the home. And let's get him to take some photos of those things and maybe some photos of you, maybe looking at your photo albums, or if there's an award that one of your children won, you can take a photo with that. Let's do that as part of the photo shoot that we do for your home. And she said, okay. And I said, I'll print these photos out for you and I will give you copies. And she said, that would be so wonderful. I really appreciate that because I just, I hate to leave my home, but I know I have to because I want to be closer to my grandchildren. And she was just so sad about this. So that's what we did. I had the photographer come in and we turned it not only into a photo shoot of her home, but we personalized it a little bit for her. And she was excited about that. So photographer leaves, we get the photos. The home isn't exactly the way I want it to be for photographs for real estate purposes. It was a beautiful home, showed beautiful decor. But for real estate purposes, one of the things when you hire a real estate agent, they will tell you for your professional photo shoot is to clear your countertops as much as possible. You can have one or two items of decor in certain places, but you want it to look clear. Countertops to be clear. You don't want to have a lot of stuff out so that you can really see the room and see the space and really be focused on the home itself. And it just makes photographs look so much better. So I asked the photographer, hey, will you come back when we get done and let's do this again without let's do some of the rooms without some of the other decor. And he said, absolutely, I'll be happy to. So I called her up and I said, okay, let's go through these photographs. Let's choose the ones we want to use. And she realized as we were looking at the photographs, she's like, Tammy, I just don't know if I want all of this stuff, to be on the internet in photographs. So let me get this stuff packed up. I'm happy now that you've got pictures. I've got pictures. Let me get it packed up. I'll do it fast. And let's get some photographs without them. And I told her, I said, I'm happy to do that. I expected we were going to go down this road. I said, how about I just help you pack? So, of course, she's one woman. She's on her own. She's trying to pack all this stuff up. So I went over there one day, and the rooms that we were going to take photos of again, I helped her pack some of the things that we wanted to pack away. That way we made sure that they got packed up nicely. We were very careful with those items, and she didn't have to worry about anything getting broken in that process. So I helped her get it done. And we had the photographer come back and take a few more photos, and we were good to go. But really what was the big deal was I wanted to get those photographs of her home the way that it was before she put everything away. Because what I wanted to do is I wanted to have a book made for her that had all these photos, because I knew that leaving her home with all these memories was going to be a difficult thing for her. And I wanted her to have this book to take with her when she went to her new state. And she could take these memories with her. But it was just a small book. It wasn't going to take up a lot of space. And she could have it in her new home, and she could go back and she could look at those photos anytime that she wanted to. So it was just something special that I wanted to do for her. Well, I had no idea what an impact that this was going to have on her, because I haven't had to experience leaving a home that I have lived in for as long as she lived in that home, where I'd raised my children. They were gone. They were grown. They had already moved to another state. They've got children of their own. I haven't experienced that part of life. So I didn't know how much this was going to touch her heart when I did it. I did it because I knew it would be something nice and special to do for her, but I just did not know what a huge impact it would have on her. So the buyer that was going to be buying her home, we got her house under contract fairly quickly. The buyer that was going to be buying her home was moving to our area from another county. And he scheduled closing with a closing attorney in his county. And it was about a 45-minute drive for us to get there. And so a couple of days before closing, my client called me and she said, Tammy, this is going to be a little bit of a drive for me to get to closing. And I'm a little bit nervous about driving on the interstate. So could you possibly print me out some directions and bring them to me so that I can get to closing and, I can be on time and I don't have to be so worried about finding my way there? And I told her, I said, listen, don't you worry about it. How about I just come pick you up? I'll get there extra early and we'll drive to closing together. And then afterwards, I will take you wherever you want to go. How does that sound? And she said, "That is so wonderful. Thank you so much." She was so appreciative of that because just the idea of having to drive on the interstate for 45 minutes to go to closing was just not very appealing to her. So I went and picked her up. And on the way to closing, um, when we got in the car, I gave her the book that I had made for her. And the reason I gave it to her before closing is because I knew we were going to have a 45-minute drive. And I wanted her to have an opportunity to look at the book and just kind of reflect a little bit before we got to the attorney's office. And so we get in the car, I give her the book, and she's so appreciative and she's so excited about it. And so we're driving and she's looking at the book and she's like sniffling and she's like, "Tammy, I'm in tears because I'm beside myself. It's really just kind of crashing down on me, all of the memories that I'm leaving behind. But now I've got this book and I'm taking these memories with me. I don't feel like I'm losing anything. I'm giving up the house, but the house isn't really what is like been tugging at my heart while we've had this house up for sale. It's these memories, and you have put all these memories in this book for me, and I can take these with me. I don't have to leave them here." And she said, "I'm just so grateful." I'm getting a little bit teary eyed now. She said, "I'm so grateful because now I feel good. Now I feel like I can go to this closing and I can sign this paperwork and I can sell this house to someone else, this other young person who I know is going to build a family and have as many wonderful memories as I did in this home. But I can take these memories with me. I don't feel like I'm giving up anything, and I can move on to my new life and build some new great memories with my grandchildren." She said, "Thank you so much. This really, really helps me." So I didn't know that it was going to have this impact. I didn't know it was going to have this big of an impact. But to see my client in tears of joy because she was struggling so much with putting her house on the market, with selling it, even though she had a great place that she was going to and what she was going to be doing was going to be fantastic. It was so hard for her. And just that small thing of taking the time to have this book made for her made a world of difference. And I'm telling this story to this woman that I'm talking to that's helping with my marketing. And she's like, "Tammy, I'm sitting here in tears because my mom went through the same thing. And to know that there's someone helping my mom through this like you is like the best thing ever. It gives me a lot of confidence in knowing that my mom can be taken care of. So I'm so grateful to hear that there are people who are in this business who understand that it's a big deal, that it's not just about signing paperwork and burning and turning, and selling houses and moving on. It's really about helping people achieve goals and make major change in their lives. And so for me, that's what real estate is all about. That's the reason I chose to be in the business. I get to have control over the type of experience I can deliver for my clients, and that's what makes me want to get up every day and get to work. So that's just one of the stories of how I've been able to help my clients and some of the things that I do that really define who I am as a real estate agent and the type of business that I operate. So I'm going to come back and tell you a few more stories because I did tell quite a few stories to this marketing professional, and she was just blown away by some of the things that I've been able to do for my clients. But it doesn't have anything to do with me. It's everything for the clients. It's all about what makes these clients so special and some of the things that they are experiencing in their lives. And I get to experience that with them, and I think that's just so wonderful that I'm able to do that. So I want to come back and tell you guys a few more stories. I won't do it now, but I'm going to make a few more videos for you and come back and tell you about some more of my clients and just what their experiences have been like in either selling or buying. Um, so that you may be experiencing something similar or something very challenging, and you may hear a story and say, that's very similar to mine, and they did it, so I can do it too. So tune back in for my next video, and I look forward to sharing some more great stories with you. See you later.